Good morning, everyone. So it's time for Python class again. Uh, this week we are considering conditionals and I/O in Python as input/output in Python, and we already had a class earlier. So this is the second class. This is the second and final class for this week. This is the second and final class for this week. Uh, so after in this class today, we're going to do three things majorly. We're going to do three things. The first is we're going to create a Python program called a number guessing game. A number guessing game. So, and then we are going to learn how to use the modular operator. That's the second task. We learn how to use the modular operator. Then finally, we'll walk you through how to complete your assignments and submit this week. So those are the three things you will be doing today. Right. So, without wasting much time, let's head into Visual Studio Code and get started. So the first thing we want to do is the guessing game. So I'm going to print something now. Okay. So we're going to print number guessing game, right? Good. Okay. So what's the first thing we want to do? So basically, what we want to do with this game is that I'm going to think of a number. I will have a secret number that I'm thinking of, and I'm going to ask the user to guess what number I'm thinking of. So that's just it. That's just it. So let me store my secret number. Secret number. Don't forget that. Don't forget that to use the sign in Python you use the double equals sign. Oh, Hezibah, you're welcome back. Hope there's no issue.
I was just able to join back now.
All right. So let me share my screen so that you can see what I'm doing. So can you see my screen right now?
No, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, you can see it now.
Yes, sir.
All right. So I said we already had a class this week, and that was where we got introduced to conditionals and input output in Python. So we are just going to take it a step further today. We already did some examples in the last class, so we'll go a step further today. So we are doing three things basically today. One, we are making a number guessing game with Python. So we're going to use conditionals and combine it with input output and all that data types to in combination of all what we've been learning from week one, we'll use that to build the number guessing game. Then we are going to learn about the modular operator. It's important. It's important. You might have to use it soon. Then the third and final task today is to walk you through the week two assignment. This week's assignment. How are you going to do it? So and this will be the last class for this week. So there won't be any class tomorrow. So you have tomorrow and Sunday to do whatever you have to do. Maybe attempt your quizzes, take your assignments, and so on and so forth. So let's just get right into it. So I'm going to print number guessing game. All right. So what are we supposed to do here? So this is how the game goes. I'm going to think of a number. I'll have a secret number I'm thinking of, and I'll ask the user to guess. So if the user, I'll compare what the user gives to my number. If it's the same thing, then I'll tell the user you're correct. If it's not, understand? So that's just it. So let me have my secret number first as a variable. Secret number equals to um 7. So my secret number is 7. So I'm gonna say, no, I'm gonna get input from user now, and then I'm gonna store it inside guess. Guess equals what now? What am I doing? Guess equals int input. So why am I using int input? Why is there int before the input?
So that Python will store it as a number and not a
Yes.
string.
Yes, as a number, so that I can work with it, because I will have to do mathematical operations on it. Right. So in inputs, I'm thinking of a number. Can you guess what number I'm thinking? Now, I want it to be, I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 10. So that will
I
make,
can see your screen.
you can't see it anymore. Oh,
Yes, sir. I can see it now.
okay, you can see it now. Thank God, it's probably network. So I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 10. Can you guess what number I'm thinking of? So we want to help the user. So that's why I said between 1 and 10, because if I say I'm thinking of a number, it can be anything. It can be 100 and something. It can be 1,000, 1,000,000 something. So between 1 and 10, we give the user a shorter range to guess from. All right. So can you guess what number I'm thinking of? Now, at this point, I have my number I'm thinking of. It is because we are coding this together. That's why you know what number I'm thinking of. Normally, the user shouldn't know the number I'm thinking of. So the user will guess. This is the user's guess. That's the input of the user. It will be a guess. So now I want to compare the user's value. If, as a condition now, if secret number, let me start with the guess. If guess equals secret number, remember equals to will be double equals to, not single. If guess equals to secret number, meaning that if the person is exact, if he got 7 exactly, then I'll say print, I'm gonna print, you guessed.
I can see your screen anymore.
Oh, jeez, it's probably network. Can you try to leave the call and join again? Network will die. Okay, so I'm gonna reshare now. So how is it now? So if guess equals to secret number, we'll print you guessed correctly. So then, but if not, that's the else now. Print you guessed wrongly. Maybe you just try to console the user. Better luck, better luck next time. That is if there is a next time. So let's run this code. So we have it. I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 10. Can you guess what number I'm thinking of? If I enter 6, I see you guess strongly. Better luck next time. So, but if I enter the correct thing, it says you guessed correctly. So that's just the number guessing game, but we can make it a little bit more fun like this. We can try to use Elif here. The Elif guess is greater than secret number. Are we still together?
No, sir, I can't see your screen, but I'm listening.
Oh, the screen is the main thing. Uh, what device are you on? Are you on your
I
smart?
can see it now.
Okay, all right. So
Yes, sir.
Elif guess, if guess is greater than secret number, then we can print you guessed too high. You can print you guessed too high. You guessed too high, right? So we can have another Elif. So we can just have else. Since we already have high guess, then it will be low guess now. You guessed too low. So we can go ahead and run this. Right. So we can just test it again to be very sure. Can test it again. Can test it again. So I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 10. Can you guess what number I'm thinking of? So if I say 10, you guessed too high. Okay, if I say 5, you guessed too low. And if it's 7 I enter, you guessed correctly. Right? So there's a way to make this game more fun. That's with the use of loops, but we are not exploring loops this week. That'll be next week. But this is a pretty cool game. So that you can make and play with your friends. It's a pretty cool game here. So we can move into the next task we have for today. So is there any question before we proceed to the next task? Do you have any question about this? Do you have any question before we proceed to the next task?
No, sir.
All right. So now we want to explore the modulo operator. So what's the modulo operator actually? It is this percentage sign and it is used to get the remainder of divisions. Normally when you divide in Python, when you divide in Python, uh, you're supposed to get a float as your answer. So even if you divide whole number by whole number and there's no remainder, you still get a float as your answer. You get a float as your answer. You get a float as your answer. Now, there's a way to not get floats, and the way to do that is floor division. That's using double slash for the division. That gives us a floor division. So if I do run this, I'll get 2 as the output. Now there's a flaw with this flaw division. If I now 5 divided by 2 should be something like 2.5, right? Should be something like 2.5. But see what this flaw division will give. So the flaw division gives 2. That is actually not supposed to be correct because mathematically, if it is 2.5, it is even closer to 3 than to 2, right? But that's how flaw division does. It cuts off the decimal part entirely. Now, if you want to get the remainder of any division, now the remainder of dividing 5 by 2 is what?
5.
No, when you divide 5 by 2, 5 divided by 2, what's the remainder?
1.
1. So to get that remainder, you use modulo operator. 5 modulo 2. Use the percentage sign. It's called modulo operator. So 5 modulo 2 will give 1. 1. So that's how to get remainders in Python. So let's assume that you want to check whether a number is even or odd now. Uh, Number equals to 3. Print num modulo 2. Now, the remainder of dividing 3 by 2 should be 1, right? So let me print this. So that's 1, 1. Now, if you want to use this in a particular program, maybe to check for remainders of some divisions now. Now, you can say if num modulo 2 is equal to, now let me ask this, how do you know whether a number is even or odd?
If it is even, it can be divided by 2. But if it is odd,
It cannot be
it
divided by 2,
can't be
right?
divided.
All right. Actually, if it is even, the modulo of that number by 2 should be 0 if it is even, because that means there's no remainder. But if it is odd, like you said, it cannot be divided by 2, that means there will be a remainder, right? Do you
Yes.
understand? Yes, yes. So that's what I'm trying to establish here. So if non modulo 2 is 0, then we can establish that it is even number. But if the norm modulo 2 is not equal to 0, is not equal to 0, meaning that it's not 0, then this is an odd number. Do you get that concept?
Yes.
Okay, because you are going to use it in one of your assignments this week. So, and we are moving straight into that right now. So this assignment guide, I'm not actually doing the assignment. I just want to explain how you go about it. So right now, I'll just stop sharing this screen so that I'll open the LMS and then I'll share that. I believe you can see my screen.
Yes, sir.
All right, all right. So sorry for the way this looks. It's just because this is it takes this as plain text. That's why you have it like this. So I would put it. I'll make it a Word document or a PDF file. I'll make the PDF file so that you'll be able to access it properly. So what you have to do is to write a Python program that to complete each of these tasks. Task 1 is even or odd number checker. So you write a program that takes an integer from the user and checks whether the number entered is even or odd. What the program does is the user will enter a number, you store that number, then you now check that number whether it's even or odd. Then you have to use the modulo operator. That's maybe if the number you stored is num, you can just say num modulo 2. If num modulo 2 is maybe 0, then that could be even. So even or odd, you check whether it's even or odd, and then you print uh maybe if the user enters 10 now, 10 is even. Maybe it's 11, 11 is odd. That's just what you have to do in task 1. So task 2, the grade calculator. So you write a program that converts a numerical score to a letter grade based on the following. So for 90, just like they do in all these WAEC, NECO, and in our secondary schools. So if someone gets a grade of 90 and above, that should be A. A grade of 80 to 89 should be B. 70 to 79 should be C. And then below 70 is D. So expected results should be this, okay? Like for instance, enter your score, right? Enter your score. So I'll do a sample of this actually before this class ends. Then the third one is a movie ticket calculator. So write a program that determines the price of a movie ticket based on the user's age. So children under 5 should be free, $0. Ages 5 to 12 should be $5. Ages 13 to 64 should be $10. And ages 65 and above should be $7. So that's just it. So if the user enters the age, okay, maybe the age is 4 now, then the ticket is free. Your movie ticket is free. Then if the user enters age 10, then your movie ticket price is $5. I'll put this properly in a Word document, in a PDF document, so you see it clearly. So so score equals int input, enter your score, then if score greater than 90, then print your grade. Print your grade. Then A for this one. So your grade. Okay, I don't need this. Your grade. A. Now I say a leave score greater than or equal to what now? So the next to check is 80 to 89. A leave score greater than or equal to what now? 80. Then print your grade. B. Else you do not have a passing grade. So if I just run this, enter your score. Let me enter 23 now. Okay, this one closes. Something is wrong. Oh, I didn't put print here. That's the issue we have there. So print, you do not have a passing grade. Let me rerun it. Enter your score. 12 says you do not have a passing grade. So if I run it again and I enter score of 80, let me enter 70. Now greater than or equal to 80. Let me enter 70. Okay. If I enter 80 B, okay. What if I enter 89 B? 89 is B because we said if score greater than 90, yeah, I can adjust it to greater than or equal to 90 so that it's 90 begins from A. So let me enter 90 here. So 90 is A. But this is B. So I already set the limit that okay, if score is greater than or equal to 90, that's A. If it's greater than or equal to 80, that's B, and so on and so forth. So you can do that for the other grades. And then you can make this program even better. You can take the name of the user. Maybe you ask the user to enter name, then enter score. Then you say, dear the username, maybe dear Thomas, your grade is you have a grade of B or whatever you can put it like that. That's just how to complete that. So that brings us to the end of the class for today. So see you again next week. Make sure you complete your assignments and submit your quizzes.